Smooth jazz. It's a tremendous part of life in SoCal. And on today's program, we're going to be visiting with writer and composer Bobby Wells. So stick around. We'll be right back right after this. And as promised, joining us today is none other than writer, composer, and musician extraordinaire, Bobby Wells. I'm very excited to have him on the program today, and I know those of you, his fans, and the people who followed his career are excited to have an opportunity to sit down and have a visit today with this man to hear his story from his perspective and in his own words on the journey that he's had as a musician. Bobby Wells, thank you so much.
Good to see you, John.
Good to see you. Welcome to Life in SoCal. Now, where I'd like to start is, let's start at the very beginning, as your journey as a jazz musician. When did you first know that this was your calling? When was the very first inclination that says, this is the road that I need to be going on?
Well, you know, I listened to a lot of, when I grew up, I listened to a lot of R&B and soul music, funk, you know, James Brown, those kind of guys.
Okay.
And eventually, some of these other guys start creeping in, like Herbie Hancock
yes.
and George Benson, and I'd listen to Hip Hugger and all of these different little tunes, Wes Montgomery.
Yes.
And I just got excited about the instrumentality of what these musicians were doing without words.
Okay.
And I said, you know what, I kind of like that. But my mom, she had me pretty much in church.
Okay.
She gave me my first drum set.
Right.
And I got that drum set from Luigi Waits. He's a fantastic drummer.
Okay.
And you know, then I started tapping out little notes on the piano.
Okay, and about what age was that?
I was probably around 15, 16.
15 or 16.
There.
So that's when you started to really feel that calling in your life.
Oh, yeah.
To go in this direction.
Yes.
So, okay, so then you started to do a little of that there, and then from there, where did it go? Where did it progress?
Well, it's kind of a long road, so I'm going to try to condense it down. In high school, I mean, I used to sneak down to the music room. These guys could actually read music.
Okay.
And I wasn't a reader. I never learned how to read.
Okay.
And I started, I could hear it. I knew it was there.
Right.
But I was like, wow. So I started out on drums. I could do that naturally.
Okay.
I didn't need any sheet music for that. Then I started tapping out the piano once again. And I'd say when I really got into smooth jazz was when I moved to Colorado. When I first got here, I started playing reggae music.
Okay.
Now, I've always been in church.
Okay,
but
right.
I started playing this reggae music, and it was kind of cool.
It was a genre that interests you.
Yeah.
So you started to explore that.
I like the rhythms.
Right.
I love the rhythms.
Okay.
But then I started hearing guys like Earl Klugh and Lee Ritenour and Boney, those kind of guys. I was like, you know what? I like what they're doing.
It's a very unique sound.
Oh my goodness. George Benson, he'd get on there and he'd do this thing, man. I'm like, what is that?
Yes.
And I says, okay, so I'm not going to play guitar. My fingers aren't going to work right. So I says, let me try the piano thing. And so I started writing a song, maybe 2 songs a week.
Okay. And give me a time frame, early 20s, around there?
Well, no, this is 20s, man. You're making me old.
Okay.
No, I know what you mean.
I was younger in your ascension.
Well, I
Yeah.
moved to Colorado from Omaha, Nebraska.
After you left home?
Yeah, after I
Okay,
left home.
after you left home.
And that was about 79, I'd say.
All right.
Give it about 3 or 4 years to settle in after the reggae thing.
Okay.
That's when I started hearing the smooth jazz.
Ah, okay.
Now, smooth jazz to me was always smooth jazz, even when I was younger.
Okay.
You had Barry White,
Yep.
Isaac Hayes,
Yep. Yes.
George Benson, of course.
Yes.
And those guys were doing that stuff before they called it that.
One thing I'd like to talk about is when you really started to play professionally, when you started to play venues and all that type of thing. So when did you know that you were ready for that next step?
Well, after leaving the phone company,
Okay.
after about 17 years of the phone company,
Okay.
my kids had gotten old enough to leave the home and do their thing. And I got a call from a gal out in D.C.
Okay.
Her name was Mimi Single.
Okay.
And she wanted to do something for Racial Harmony Day.
Okay.
So we flew out there, did this music for this Racial Harmony Day.
Okay.
And we had a blast, and I'm like, well, come on. So then I come back. My daughter gets a call from Tipper Gore.
Okay.
From the White House,
Yes.
and she says, "Can I talk to your dad?" And I says, she says he's not here. So I go, okay. So she was so excited. I'm glad she got that call.
Okay.
Right? I didn't get the call, but she got the call.
All right.
Anyway, a good friend of ours, we heard him on the radio. He used to play with Lou Rawls. His name was James Van Buren.
Okay.
And so we invited him over to the house, and he heard what I was doing. He said, "Man, you got to get out of this corner, man. Let people hear what you're doing."
Yes, it's time to step out.
You're writing all this stuff. Do something with it. So
Right.
that's what kind of got me out. And I said, "Okay, this is fun.
Okay. All right.
This is cool."
So in this journey that's now starting, and you're starting to see what the scene is all about.
Right.
Some of the things that go on within the scene are a part of it. You have to take the whole cake, not just one piece of the cake.
That's right.
You got to take the whole cake.
And I love sweets, man.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of encouragement would you give to some of these younger folks out there that because you've already been there, okay? So you've already been through that transition, and now you're going through the new phases of your career as a writer and a composer and a musician. So what would you say to encourage those young folks that are out there just starting out?
Well, I know one thing that helped me was not to listen to everything that comes your way. You know, I had a producer in LA tell me that he said, "Positive don't sell, Bob. Don't do that. You got to write some other stuff, man. You can't just do positive." And I said, "That's all I know. I don't want to write anything else."
Because that's who you are.
That's who I am.
Right.
And it comes through the music. So there's going to be a lot of people telling you how to do it and how to do it. But Picasso, when he wrote and when he painted his pictures, he just painted.
Right.
And the people didn't like it right away.
Okay.
But then after a while, he became real famous.
He caught
right?
on.
So be who you are. You got to be who you are.
And
Write
stay
what
true to
you
you.
do. Yeah, stay true to you. Use all of your influences that are in you.
Okay.
And if anything, me personally, I like to leave that message.
Okay.
It may not be, baby, let's get together 24 hours a day and all night long, but
right.
I am going to say something sweet about my sweetheart. You know, I'll talk about that. That's just me personally.
Right.
You know, I can't do anything else. And you can do all things.
Yes.
Through Christ who strengthens you.
Yes.
If you have that foundation, no one can take it from you. You write. You just write all the music you want to write.
Yes.
And not everybody's going to like it.
That's okay.
But enough people will.
But
you know?
But you're still being true to you.
Yeah, and it's
true to
one
you.
fan at a time, and those fans build up over time,
Yes.
and they really like what you do.
Right.
Now, what happens in the music industry is everyone begins to write the same.
Okay.
And thank goodness we have people that broke through that and said,
Yes.
this is my sound.
Yes.
This is my sound,
Yes.
and everybody's got to have their own. Just watch Happy Feet, man. Just watch Happy Feet. You got to have your voice, you know.
You know, well, and I want to back up when you said Herbie Hancock, because I remember he had a very unique sound,
Oh my
and
goodness.
that is a perfect example. Because in that sound, it was a jazzy sound, but it had a little bit of funk to it, and it caught on that quick because he was true to him.
He fused
Yes.
the sounds together, and today he's still amazing guy, amazing.
Yes. Yes. Now I want to talk about something you mentioned,
Wow.
which is the woman in your life, the love of your life. Which is, well, the Lord, of course, is the first love of your life.
Oh,
but it's your wonderful wife, Kathy Wells.
Yes.
She's been your support, your strength. She's been there right by your side this entire journey.
Yes.
And she's always been supportive. She's been in the wings, just the wind beneath your wings.
Amen.
Been there
Serious.
all the way and believed in you, and still to this day. She believes in what you're doing because she says, you got to be you.
Yep.
And she married you, and she believes in you being you. So that's what makes her happy, is to see you doing what you were called to do.
Yes.
Which is this journey as a musician. So talk about this wonderful relationship with this wonderful woman, and just tell your fans at home how important this lady is to you.
Well, without her, I'd probably be writing some sad songs.
Right.
You know? Let me tell you. I mean, if you listen to some of the titles of those songs, like My Sweet Butterfly,
Okay.
I know she loves butterflies.
Okay.
So the song is about her.
Uh-huh.
But it sounds like I'm talking about a butterfly.
Uh-huh.
You know, Kathy's just been a wonderful blessing to me. I know it. I know she's my soulmate. I would encourage any man out there, don't shop around. Just pray.
Yes.
And God will give you the right one, you
Yes.
know. And sometimes it's not who you think it is.
Uh-huh.
You know, because our minds are always like, okay, so it must be like this, it must be like that, and no, she loved what I did. It wasn't a war. She just loved what I did, and I love what she did, and I write about her personality a lot.
Tell you that one of your albums is Bayside. Okay. When my day gets tough, sometimes I check out and I go Bayside. I'm listening to that CD and I'm studying it. I'm listening. I've heard these songs over and over and over again, but I'm listening to the science that in those songs.
Yes.
The way they're composed, the way they're put together. It's not just that you get your feet tapping,
Right,
you know, that
right.
kind of thing. But I'm listening to the way it's composed and put together.
Like It's About Time, for instance. We had
Very
Nelson
good
Rangel on there and Mel Brown playing bass, and he began to just play, and I said, that's not what I'm looking for. He's he's an awesome musician from GRP. Anyway, I said, Nelson, can you give me some Benny Goodman and give me some Grover Washington and mix the two in one song?
I love it.
And it just rolled off. He could look around his sax and, am I doing it? Am I doing it for you? He did it, man. I'm like, listen to that tune again.
Yeah.
You'll hear all of those flavors, man. And then he puts his own thing in there,
Okay. So in this topic, of course, which is our main topic, you recently shared with me that you had Bobby Wells Day.
Yeah.
In Colorado.
Yeah.
So tell the viewers at home a little bit about that and the venue that you played.
Well, I took you there today.
Yes.
Did you like that?
I loved it.
It was the Red Rocks. Now, it was so funny because I had just finished a concert up in Breckenridge.
Okay.
And went up to see the mayor. The mayor had came out, and he loves the music. And he says, you know what, Bob, we need to get this music scene really moving around here. What would you recommend? I recommended some things, and he said, he asked me a question. He says, something about the Red Rocks.
Okay.
And I said, oh man, I sat on that stage. I sat there. I said, one of these days I'm going to play on that stage. Well, he came back and he said, I was standing up at the top where we were.
Yes, yes.
And he looked over the whole city and he says, one of these days I'm going to be the mayor.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that conversation ended, you know, and so I moved to California. I say about 2 weeks in, I get a call, come back here. I want you at the Red Rocks. And I'm
That's incredible.
I'm like,
That's
what
incredible.
is that? So I came back and he presented me. They had a lot of folks. I didn't know who these people were. I knew Roy Romer. I remember him.
Okay.
And Governor Lamb and I said, there goes that watermelon again.
But that's all right.
Hey, it's natural, folks. This is
Bobby Wells.
Yeah, okay.
The
Don't
man.
tell me you don't burp. So don't even go there. Okay, so he at the end of it, he presents this proclamation.
Okay.
And I was blown away. I was like, Bobby Wells Day? What do I need with a day? I don't know even know what to do with it right now.
Okay,
But it was an honor to get that from the mayor, you know.
It probably it just totally
what a blessing.
blew your mind.
Yes.
Because you would have never thought in your beginning on this journey that you would get a Bobby Wells Day.
No.
Now, on the topic of the Red Rocks, you have an interesting tidbit that you could share with the viewers at home about the sound testing in the acoustics, the acoustics. Okay.
The acoustics were, as you've seen, you have these Red Rocks, and everybody that who's anybody has performed there. I mean, I'm serious. Everyone, they're huge. But Kathy, my wife, you know who my wife is.
Of course,
right?
yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Her grandfather.
Okay.
They were called the Happy Chappies or the Men of the West back in the 30s and back in the 20s and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they were called up to play, come and test the acoustics out there.
Okay.
So that's part of our family. We were part
destined to be a part of the Red Rock venue.
So it was coming.
But that's quite a special thing to have in your family, that for the people that live here in Colorado where you're based, that you have a history with that venue, and so many famous people have come through that venue to play.
Yeah.
And her family, Kathy's family, were essentially pioneers of getting it going.
Yes.
And for the venue that it is today, just to make sure that sound was just right.
Oh yeah, it is just right.
Well, we're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about Bobby's latest CD, which is Back in the Day. So with that, we'll be right back. Don't go away. We're back, and I wanted to talk about his latest CD. This is Bobby Wells, Back in the Day. I really like this CD. And the title track is one of my favorites because when I listen to this song, it takes me back to the joyful times back in the day. And I wanted to, Bobby, it's been a while since your fans had heard from you in a CD, because you've been busy working with other musicians on their projects. So what told you it was time to come back and see my friends and my fans and give them some more of my music? What inspired this CD, and how did that all come about?
Well, okay, so if I could just crunch it all down.
Okay.
I love instrumentals.
Yes.
I just love instrumentals. But now God, my Lord, is pulling me to do something for Him. My mom's beating on me. Hey, you need to do a CD for the Lord. Okay. So that's what happened. After Bayside, I love that CD. It had some great musicians on there.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh my goodness! I mean,
it is my
Eric
favorite.
Marienthal and Michael O'Neill and Brian Savage. A lot of good guys. Darren Ron. Anyway, when I finished it, I had the draw to do something for the Lord, so I created a Christian CD. Now, most of the fans didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then in the Christian realm, they don't know who I am.
Okay,
So,
right.
But I wanted to do it.
Okay.
So I did it. Now, after that was 2012.
Okay.
I said, now I need to do another instrumental.
That was your praise and worship CD.
That was a praise and worship CD.
Yes, and that's also very good.
And you know, it's uplifting.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Music that'll lift you up.
Forget your problems.
Okay.
And that's, back in the day, is kind of a spin-off of my life. When I was a young boy, I was hospitalized a lot.
Okay.
Almost monthly with asthma.
Okay, that's something you've struggled with all of your life.
Struggled with it most of my life until I met Kath, actually, and she forced me to go see a specialist.
Okay.
Anyway, but I actually lived in the hospital over a year.
Wow.
And met some neat people. You know, there's some of them were just going through some rough things, but all of those little things kind of shaped who I am.
Okay.
And how can I give back? So, not always dwelling on that, I had to start thinking of things that made me happy. So back in the day, shooby-dooby-doo, thinking of you,
yes.
remembering how we did the two-step, you know, and the sweetheart, we still dance.
Yes.
You know, and how we used to do. Life was simple then, family and friends, thinking about the good times. I mean, don't you think about some of the good times back in the day?
When I listen to this song, it does. It takes me back to when I was a kid, when things were, now, I'll date myself in this revelation, but back when I was a kid, and I grew up
in... Look at him, doesn't he look young? He looks young.
But when I was a kid, it was in Riverside, growing up, Riverside, California. We would hang out at the park pool all day. We weren't inside playing video games. We were out riding our bikes.
I know.
And those thinking about the good times back in the day. When I hear that song, it reminds me of those days.
Yeah.
So
the old cars, you know, all of that.
We would be skateboards, bicycles, and all that kind of thing. So that was my back in the day. Okay.
I love that.
We weren't. I wasn't two-step, and I was doing the dog paddle at the park pool. You know, but we was just having a good time because I have to say, life was simpler then. It was a simpler world, not because I was a kid per se, but it wasn't as chaotic as it is today. So with that being said, it's nice to have a CD like this that gives you such nice music that can give you a nice escape from that. That's the beauty of music. It can give you, depending on what genre that because there's so many different things out there. Music can be a tool that you can use to calm you, to give you joy.
Yes.
You know. Yes. So music is a very powerful thing, and it's important that if you want to get that uplifting spirit to pick something that's going to give you that that little spring in your step. It's going to get your feet tapping. It's going to get your fingers tapping. That's why I say when I'm at work during the day, and I'm thinking about stuff and I'm trying to get through my day, I'll throw on Bayside. I keep mentioning that, but I still listen to back in the day. I listen to your music, and it just gets me through. And that's what's important, and that's what your fans like about you too. It gets you through. And a friend of mine, Tony, her favorite, Tony Griffith, her favorite is "It's About Time." She loves that CD.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, she loves that CD, and she just studies it like I do. She'll study that music, and that's the thing. You can choose to just get through your day, or hey, let me incorporate this music into my day so that I can, at least it lightens my load, which I like. And music is so powerful in that way. So one of the musicians that play on this is Freddie Fox.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about your relationship with your friendship with this man. And and how did he come about helping you on this new CD?
Well, Freddie Fox is probably, he's on a lot of hits out there already.
Okay.
He's playing on a lot of different artists, like Al Jarreau, lots of different albums, and he's got a lot of credit to his name. But when I met him, I had threw up a song on Facebook, and I said, I asked my fans, who do you think this would sound good for? And everybody started mentioning all these names, and I get this little tap on the door. Hey, Bob, give me that song. So me and Freddie, we just kind of came together like that, and we just laugh. We have a good time, and his wife is Evelyn Champagne King.
Okay.
So most people know who that is.
Yes,
but
of course.
Freddie's a major talent. Michael O'Neill, he plays with Benson. He's on there.
Okay.
Gerald Albright, believe it or not, he's playing bass on 2 songs.
Okay.
And he used to play with Anita Baker. A lot of people don't remember that he played bass.
Okay.
I mean, so, man. And then Darren Ron, he was one of my buds. He's got like 25 #1 hits.
Okay.
Lives right down the street. We have a good time. So a lot of people on there. Yvonne Brown, my daughter Brandy. Who else is on there? Bob Repholz.
Okay.
He was just nominated for a Grammy here. I think it was last year.
I gotta mention. You mentioned Yvonne Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now a fan of her too.
So you like to sing?
I like her singing.
Yes.
I love that girl's voice, and she
yeah.
is a perfect person, a musician to have.
Oh yeah. She's
CD.
quite a musician too. She really.
Yeah, them vocal cords are hers.
Yeah.
She's.
Yeah.
I hope to meet her someday. I really like her singing. I like her pitch. So I want to talk about a couple of the songs on here, other than just the title track. You have one here called "Count It All Joy."
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that. When I listen to that track, it's talking about, even though a lot of the things that are going on in the world today, in society in particular, and for some groups of people who feel like they're, to me, when I hear the song, it's for people who feel left behind, or they feel that they're just beat down, and because circumstances beyond their control. This encourages them to get up, you know, count it all joy, because there's a brighter day coming.
Yes.
That's what this song says to me.
Yes.
Yes, this is where you're going through right now. But he's gonna make a way for you.
He's gonna make a way.
Yes, and because they know him personally, they know the Lord personally, this is encouraging them to just keep going.
That's right.
Keep on keeping on, as we used to say back in the day.
Right. Well,
So,
he tells
no pun
us,
intended.
he said to count it all joy when you go through these various trials.
Yes.
And if you don't, you'll suffer. But when you smile, let me see you smile. See, you can't be unhappy that way, can you? Can you say, I'm very unhappy? No, you can't do it. You got to count it all joy when you're joyful about it, even though you're going through something tough. Sometimes it's good. Music is a catalyst. You turn it on, you go, God, man, I'm going through. This song fit the bill.
Right. It spoke to them at that moment when they heard it.
It could be now. I know they have love songs, and people are going through a lot of things out there
in their personal relationship.
Yeah, they're doing that. Instrumentals don't quite tell you that, but at least you're free. The freedom of your mind is available to go anywhere you want it to go.
But what I like about this collection that you have on this CD, you know, the way you collaborated this thing, put it all together, you know, you have those inspirational songs in there, and then you got that little spring in your step song going on in there too, you know, so it's a nice...
Those come from road trips.
Okay.
You're out on the highway and you're stuck on the 405. There's a tune on Bayside. What is it? Traffic Jam. See, that came from 405. Man, we were always stuck on that thing, you know?
Yes. And to name a few.
Yeah.
10, the 405, the 101. But, you know.
So see, you write about what you think about.
Yeah.
So Deep Blue, I love whales. I love the ocean, you know.
Okay.
Sometimes you hear a Caribbean flavor. That comes from me playing
I've
island
noticed
music.
that in your music. I've noticed that.
And my grandfather, I found out after he passed away that he was from Jamaica. I didn't know that.
Okay.
And here I like the music.
It's in you.
It's
in
there.
It's in that DNA.
Yeah, it's
You've got that Caribbean flavor.
Yep.
That you're adding to it.
Yes, man.
So that's wonderful. So gosh.
But there's a lot of tunes on there. I like to take people on a journey.
Yes.
And at the end of the album, you'll hear a reprise by a good friend, Cedar Ibar.
Okay.
He's just a mind-boggling guitarist. And he plays this reprise, and you just want to start the CD over. It just makes me want to hear it again. And so all of those things are what I do to make the cake.
Yeah,
You know?
and it takes a while to get that cake batter mixed up. Okay.
Baked.
Okay, and then the ingredients that go into that, and to mix it up just right, and to get the temperature just right. We're using this analogy because when a cake comes out that's made right, it's sweet.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of good flavor to
sweet.
it.
Yes.
This CD has a lot of good flavor to it.
Thank you.
It
Thank
really
you.
does. And like I say, your fans are probably happy that you came around to see us again and give us something new, the latest version from Bobby Wells. But you're
Yes.
still a very busy man. You're still working on
producing for
projects. You're
people.
producing other people's projects and things, and the first person they think of is you to help them. You know, to
They
work
need
with them.
something happy. Give Bob a call.
Yeah, because
You know, that's just where I'm going to go with it.
let's fast forward to today, and with this CD. What's been the response?
Oh, people love it. All over the world, people love it. I'm getting a great response. I just got a newspaper article there
In the Spectrum?
in the Urban Spectrum.
Urban Spectrum.
And it's, you know, in today's technology, you have a lot of social networks.
Okay.
So you get a lot of good feedback from people.
That's good.
You know, and the likes, they're good for you. The
Yes.
looks, the
Yes.
websites, they're great for you because
Yes.
you sort of get an idea. Maybe I won't do that song because it's not registering much, but this one did. So, you know, technology is amazing today. So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Now I want to talk about. There's a very special guest on the backside of this CD.
That's my boy right there.
And this is I finally got to meet this celebrity. This is Solo for those, and he's mentioned here on the cover. Correct. This little friend is just. I can see this person giving you joy as well.
Oh yeah.
Keeping you lifted up.
Well, Kathy, she's taking my pictures. We're trying to get something for the cover, and he just keeps walking into the picture, and I said, just leave him in here.
He's like, I will not be ignored. I will be on this cover.
Oh,
And
look.
The reason
I'm gonna be on this cover. Watch.
The reason I mention this is because this gives it such a personal touch.
Yeah.
Solo
Yeah.
being on this
That's
is
our
a
bad.
personal touch.
That's our
and
bad.
it just shows the fans that I'm still with you.
Yep.
We're still family.
with you.
And I'm introducing you to another part of our family,
Yeah.
Solo.
And he's our only dog, so Solo, it's a singing terminology, and
yes.
plus it's in Spanish, he's only.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Solamente. That's it. All right. Well, with that, we'll be right back. Don't go away. Well, I sure have enjoyed my visit today with this wonderful man, Bobby Wells.
Likewise.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity and a great journey speaking with you and just catching up. And I'm sure your fans we're your family, your fans and your friends.
That's right.
We're with you
Yep.
on the journey.
That's
now
right.
tell some of the viewers at home out there where they can find you on the web.
Well, you can go to BobbyWellsMusic.com. That's BOBBY WellsMusic.com. You can also go on Facebook and just chime in every once in a while. I'll accept you as a friend if you don't start talking about politics. No, but I'm always there. You can also get me on Pandora if you like listening to all kinds of music. Just make my station, just say Bobby Wells Music, and it'll pop up and you'll hear all your favorites like Peter White and Gerald Albright, everybody's there. CD Baby, if you wanted to purchase one, you could definitely go there.
Okay.
And everything filters through the website, so you can always get me there. And I'm a real person, okay? You can touch me. I'm a cool guy. I'm right there with you. I have a burger with you if you get my flight.
Putting a personal touch on it. So that's the reason why you've had such a steady following, and because the people know you through your music, and this opportunity to open up and just share some of your time with them, even just shows them that yes, he's the same man I'm hearing in the music is this gentleman right here. So Bobby, again, we've really enjoyed our visit today. So again, and thank you so much for sharing your gift of music with us.
And I appreciate you coming out here all the way. And guess what, folks? This man can sing. Yeah, he can sing. I had a chance to hear him the other day. And so I'm going to put on a little bit of music. We're going to just kind of swing on out of here with Back in the Day. You remember that one?
Yes, I do.
So we're going to swing on out of here. Thinking of you, remembering the two-step and how we used to do. Life was simple then with family and friends. Thinking about the good times back in the day. Back in the day. Back in the day. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo. Thinking of you, remembering the two-step and how we used to do. Life was simple then, family and friends. Thinking about the good times. Don't forget about the good times, y'all.
We'll see you again real soon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm John Shollenberger. Again, thank you so much for watching.
Shoo-be-doo-be-doo.